Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon Total, and today we're back with another Enlisted news video, and this week's news, apparently. This week we're covering a lot of stuff, and surprisingly a lot of stuff, because last week we basically covered nothing. And this week we have update 0.3.2.42, update 0.3.1.132, update 0.3.2.47, improved movement mechanics, update 0.2.48, and US National Airborne Day, and finally update 0.3.2.50. So without further ado, let's get started with this week's news, which is a lot, but before we do, obviously this video has been possible through the friends at Discord, meaning that if you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do that. But that said, let's get started. The first thing that we have up is actually update 0.3.2.42, or for Xbox and PlayStation, update 0.3.42 and update 0.3.2.39 respectively. And in this update we have literally a lot. Just in terms of weaponry, vehicles, and squads, and AI soldiers, game mechanics, graphics, missions, mission editors, fixes, there is literally a lot, and I'm not joking with this. This is probably the best update in Enlisted so far. For one, we have weaponry. In all campaigns except for the Battle of Stalingrad, the increased damage of bolt action rifle has to 50 to 60%, with the exception of the lethal carbine, which really just makes the weapon even worse. Weapon stats for the Battle of Stalingrad have been transferred to all other campaigns. Increase the rate of fire for most semi-automatic rifles in the game from 200 to 320, and basically what it does is just brings the semi-automatic rifles before the semi-automatic rifle nerf, which is really good. I really like the semi-automatic rifles now. I really like it. Rifles, submachine guns, and assault rifles have recoil reduction increased by 15 to 50%, and recoil impulse shifted to the right. Increased recoil control for submachine guns and assault rifles. Rate of fire of the ZH was reduced from 420 to 320. And if you're wondering, no, the submachine gun recoil hasn't really been decreased, at least not on the weapons that I've been using, which are the Thompson, the MP40, which, I'm gonna be honest, pretty much feels the exact same, the Sten, not really, and other weapons along the lines. Kill counts for the PZB-38 and PZB-39 has been in the category of anti-tank grenade launchers, which is interesting. Angle change for stationary machine guns. These include the MG34, the Maxim, and the Browning M19A4, which basically have a lot, which I'm not going to list. And fix a bug that makes it impossible to transfer AVS-36 to the Battle of Berlin. Vehicles, now you can press C for a lot of stuff like anti-aircraft guns, tank commanders, lookout hatch, and so much more. Tanks are now extinguishing fire on the hulls even before the fire spreads to internal modules. Added a reward for extinguishing fires on allied vehicles. Toolkits that allows you to repair vehicles and extinguish fires up to 3 times, even after using repair tools. Added a co-pilot to the Mosquito, which is a premium squad, and motorcycles are now in working speedometers. Added the ability to change the selected ammo type in the tank during the reload process without the reloading ability, but the reload perk will be reset. So basically what's going to happen is that you're going to reload, and you basically will have to take out the shell and load in the shell again, which is historically what's going to happen inside a tank. And yeah, it's a really good mechanic. I really like this. Added a hint about the acceleration or deceleration of reload. For example, a crew member has the ability to speed up the reloading of the gun. Tank guns reload faster if the loader is in the vehicle. Yes, thank you. I've actually tried this on the Grant. Yeah, this is really useful. Tank guns no longer reload automatically if there's no loader or anyone performing the duties of a loader in your vehicle, which is alright. Now, loader perks are used by the soldier who performs the duties of the loader. Gunners in the case the loader is absent, and the loader can no longer continue loading a gun when out of the hatch. Loader abilities can now work with autocannons as well. Added transparency to inflictor under G-force. Basically, if you're flying, there will be G-force, is my best description. Updated appearance of allied squads in the Battle of Tunisia campaign number 3 Fighter Squadron. Increase the appearances of the Invasion of Normandy, 361st Fighter Squadron, 375th Fighter Squadron. Updated appearance of allied squads in the Battle of Berlin, 5th Infantry Division, 54th Pioneer Battalion. The latter one is the best in the sense that these guys actually look pretty good. The appearance of allied squads in terms of the fighter and bombers, it doesn't really look like they've changed much. I don't know what they've changed, but it isn't as apparent as the 5th Infantry Division, 54th Pioneer Battalion. Improved detection of the psycho details on the Axis soldiers. That one is the most prevalent of all of the 4. That one is a pretty big improvement. I really like it. Next we have the AI soldiers. Improve the AI soldiers' behavior during capture a point. Basically now AI soldiers will not be spinning around like idiots, and they'll actually rush forward you, which is actually pretty good. I'm actually surprised. The AI soldiers actually look pretty human now, although you can still easily tell within a split second which are AI and which are not. These guys are really good now. Not good in killing, but looking like normal players. In terms of game mechanics, the only highlight that one of the big highlights that we have is ability to create password protecting rooms in custom matches, and sadly, this ability is only available to premium account players, which really is saying the free-to-play players suck, which really, guys, like, you had to just add the ability to premium account players. Really? You couldn't add the ability for everyone? You just had to add them for the premiums? Wow. Next, we added animations for the lowing down and getting up, lying down and getting up, which really makes the situation a lot more convenient. I've literally killed multiple people who literally are still accustomed to pressing down Z, and it's quite funny sometimes. Remove the ability to aim while switching to the lying position and standing up. So basically, every movement is now more better. Like, I just can't really, I'm just so happy now. Like, every movement that they have in game is so good now. Like, it's smooth. It's not like you jump and then you press Z and then you instantly, like, you know, it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. Jumping, there's also not that high of a jump from what I've been experiencing. Radio operators has the highest jump from what I've been seeing. But jumping is not like you jump from the left, you jump from the left, you jump from the right, you jump from the left. It's not that troublesome, to be exact. It's not like you're playing Call of Duty. Enlisted is really turning the game into a free-to-play shooter that's historically accurate, and jumping around while shooting a Thompson is not historically accurate, at least not en masse. Next we have remove leg animations when using anti-tank guns, add automatic deactivation of free view within using binoculars, and AFK timers now works in the respawn. A lot of new stuff, and yeah, literally this is pretty good. Graphics have been increased. I'm not going to display every graphics, but the graphics are pretty good. I really like it. The most notable thing is that the sand effects are looking more better, I guess, and yeah, it really, like, the farther you go, the farther you look away, the more interesting it is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's pretty good. Next, we have a lot of new mission confrontations. Brick Grove in Axis Battle of Moscow, Invasion Normandy Omer confrontation, Goral Street confrontation, Al Har confrontation, and Königsplatz. All of them are pretty good. I've personally only played Brick Grove, but the rest of the confrontation maps I really am looking forward to play. Update battles and missions on airfields, destruction, invasion, assault, Le Bray West. All these places are actually pretty good. Changed farmhouse point geometry in Lapel Village, yada yada yada, all guns. A lot of stuff have been changed, a lot of new buildings have been added, but that said, they've actually made the map more balanced. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy for this very update. Once again, the mission editor also has been transformed. The most interesting thing that I wanted to say is that in the mission files, we actually have a steward that is in the Pacific. So for those who don't know, in the files, they have a new Pacific steward, and that is basically, once again, foreshadowing the next campaign, which at this point is pretty much 100% to 99% the Pacific Guadalcanal. Of why the Guadalcanal, then you should really watch one of my videos, which actually says why Guadalcanal. Next, we have a massive number of fixes, and I'm just not going to go over all of them. The main ones are the tank sites, which actually look pretty good from what's noticeable. The Grant sites are pretty good. Just literally everything is really good. They fixed a lot. This is what the definition of a good update should look like. This is update 0.3.2.42 is one of the best updates that I have ever have. And yeah, that is pretty much one of the best updates. I literally cannot say anything much because we're gonna run out of time for this video. So we're just gonna move on to the next update 0.3.1.132. But this update is really, really good. I really wish Enlisted would do more of these. After that, let's move on to update 0.3.1.132. For this part, I'm just going to group update 0.3.1.132, update 0.3.2.47, improvement movement mechanics, and update 0.2.48, and update 0.3.2.50 all together in one segment, because there is no way in heck I'm just going to spend 1 minute on every single one because there's a lot that is spread out, but there's very little in the pages that Enlisted has given us. So the first one, update 0.3.1.132, we basically have fixed a bug that causes the change of a campaign after a tutorial on the Battle of Stalingrad campaign, and that's it. Next page, we have 0.3.2.47, so update 0.3.2.47. We have incorrect pricing display of equipment and logistics, incorrect pricing display of premium squads, incorrect display of required levels of purchasing of weapons, fix a bug that causes display of bolt action rifles, and much more. And then next we have improvement to movement mechanics, and this time we basically have what we have in update 0.3.42 but restated, such as the jump mechanics. You actually feel like you're jumping. You get a lot of stuff, get up, ready, and down, transition animations from like prone to standing to shifting, and then you literally have weapon animations changes that they're all pretty good, honestly. It's just basically a recap of update 0.3.47, all the movement mechanics, and after that we have update 0.3.2.47, and this time is just basically visual effects of the recoil when following weapons have been reduced, such as the Turner SMLE, the M1 Grand, the Johnson, the M1 Carbine, the M2 Carbine, the M2A1, the M3 Submachine Gun, the M3A1, the M3 Field Modification, M3 Suppress, M1 Thompson, M1A1 Thompson, M1928A1 Thompson with a drum magazine, which is really, guys, really? You had to reduce the recoil reduction on that? There is a reason why a lot of players are playing Allies Tunisia, and there's why a lot of players are not playing Axis. And this is also probably the reason why every time I go into a battle with Allies Tunisia, I'm literally facing bots. I think that is probably the main reason why I'm actually starting to become less skilled at the game, but basically fighting bots. But M1928A1 Thompson with a drum magazine has recoil reduction, BSA model 1928 Thompson has been reduced, Sniper M1 Grand twice has been reduced, so that's interesting. Hyde model 38 and M2 Hyde has all been reduced. Next we have update 0.3.2.50, and this time is reducing the recoil for the following weapons again. So these are the Thompson M2128 with the box magazine, the FG42, the FG42-2, and the Sniper FG42-2. Damage from PPT 34-38 in different magazines have the same version, so 5.3 reduced from 5.5 from different versions. And now several AI engineers can execute orders to demolish or build buildings simultaneously, which is basically was there before, but all you have to do, for those who don't know, is to press X on the thing that you want to build, and fix an error that prevents starting to vote to kick a player from custom matches. And that is all it for update 0.3.1.132, update 0.3.2.47, improvements to movement mechanics, and update 0.3.48, and update 0.2.50. And finally, let's go on to US National Airborne Day. The final thing for this week is actually US National Airborne Day, and on August 16th, the US celebrates its Air Forces. US parachute participate in the largest military operation in Normandy, and you would be surprised that they haven't added airborne troops, but I'm just gonna count that as something. August 12th to August 15th, complete tasks and receive one of the US heroes, Engineer Level 2 Charlton William Barrett, Invasion of Normandy. Basically, complete 9 tasks for that, 100% booster for 2 battles for 7 tasks, X2 silver orders for weapons for every second completed task. And the tasks are, on day 1, on all fronts, kill an assaulter, 1 victory in the Battle of Tunisia, and 1 victory in Invasion of Normandy. Check a little trades on day 2, 30 kills with an AA gun, 30 kills with controlling a plane, and 30 kills when controlling a tank. Day number 3, no challenge, just too large, destroy 2 tanks, destroy 2 planes, and get a 10 kill streak with a soldier without dying. And on day 4, you basically cannot purchase anything unless you're using gold. And you cannot do anything unless, once again, you're using gold. But that said, this is the US National Airborne Day event. And honestly, I don't really like this event. I don't think it's a good event. It's a good placeholder. It's not one of those good events like Operation Silent Hunter. But honestly, they should have just made the rewards more and less pricey. And what I mean by pricey, I mean like for every second task complete something. Every 7th task complete, get a 100% booster. Literally, these are very hard tasks to not get, but these are really tasks that they're not worth it, in my opinion. Honestly, if you have the silver orders, you should just get them from playing the game. But Engineer Level 2, really, just comes down to I am very thankful that you've given us Engineer Level 2, but why isn't every other campaign getting stuff? For example, Axis Tunisia, Axis Berlin, Axis... the list goes on. Why are we getting allied units? Like, I know it's a little bit of bias here, but like I would really like to see them give us a choice whether we want an Allies player or an Axis player. I would really want an Axis personnel, because I'm not grinding Allies Normandy. That's the point. Like, that's that. But that said, that is all it for the US National Airborne Day event. With that said, this week's update has been pretty good. All-rounder this week's has been very good in terms of update 0.3.24 and 4.2. I do want to say that update 0.1.132, update 0.2.42, and update 0.3.2.48 and update 0.2.50 and the improvement movement mechanics effect, all of them, besides the improvement movement mechanics effect, all of those updates are just basically cleaning up after update 0.3.2.42, which is really trying to say, like, I know this is a bigger update and I'll be less picky than before, but like I've said, I really hope that Enlisted really checks on what they've done before they release an update. That said, I'm actually pretty happy that they've released update 0.3.2.42, which I think is one of the best updates in Enlisted so far. I really like it. I'm really thankful for this update. But that said, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I will be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.